A lot of people want to ask, why is it, Clutch, that you speak about going SYSBM, going overseas, using that as an option in order to get away from the community, but you have failed to make any sort of video with you going overseas or being overseas or going into details on where to go overseas? Well, first of all, if you watch my video, Where in the World Can Black Men Find Acceptance, then there's your answer right there. I will probably make a second version of it sooner rather than later, but nonetheless, why is it do I not make a channel, well, which all of you aren't aware of, where I, like other individuals, shout out to the one master teachers of the world, other brothers who, out of the labor of their heart, will tell you, is the black man accepted and such and such. Why don't I do a video of that nature? Well, quite frankly, I'm just going to say it, and the risk of sounding elitist, most of the brothers have no business going overseas. I'm just going to say it like that. Not a lot of men these days, especially these days when you have the average brother, unfortunately, having the mindset of a 15-year-old baby kid. And if you need to see examples of that, just go to my last videos or just the videos in the past where I've just gone in the mentality of how a lot of these grown babies kids, and it's not even because I want to say half of them don't know better, and the other half feels if they need to stick to that mentality of being a baby kid just so they can be in the good side of the community. But isn't the reason why you are considering traveling is to not having to submit yourself, succumb, placate to the mentality of the community? So in any case, with that being said, if you are one of these guys, if you're an example of what I'm going to say next, you have no business traveling overseas. And at the risk of sounding like I'm, patrolling the brothers, I'm doing this unlike a lot of these other individuals who actually patrol you just to keep you on the communitized dime and plantation. I'm actually telling the guys this so that brothers who are already up here can succeed. So, if you're financially struggling, don't bother going overseas. Do not call yourself a travel dude. Don't call yourself a passport bro. Please, please. Why is it that, okay, yeah, everyone says, well, your dollar can stretch a lot further. Yes, that is true. And I'm not even against that in general, but you got guys who are not even struggling, but struggling. They're struggling to make ends meet here. And these are the same guys that are like, I'm just an average man. I'm an average man doing average things. I got an average body fat. I work an average job. I drive an average car. Actually, nothing wrong with that. But you know what? I talk like an average, mediocre brother. Don't go overseas, please. Just don't. And it's beyond just financially struggling. It's up here. Because a lot of these guys, especially a lot of these brothers these days, settle with being mediocre to the point where they think that, well, I can't be average where I live right now. I can't be average in America anymore because these women want these high value men and these higher value men and these highest value men and these atmospheric and stratospheric value men. And you know what? It's just too much for me. It's just too much. So we got a dumpster dive in. Did I say that? Anyway, let's move on. Your SMV is struggling in the States. And I'm not talking about individuals who actually go to the gym, have a decent job, and are still struggling. And I'm not talking about the guy who got pineappled. I'm not talking about him, all right? The guys who have potential, right? I'm talking about these guys who, honestly, a lot of these guys who are complaining, these travel bros, I'm just going to say it, these travel bros who are complaining about Pookie and Ray Ray getting the girls, a lot of these are wannabe Pookies and Ray Rays. These are failed Pookies and Ray Rays. And it shows through their SMV, right? I mean, if you just listen to them, half of them you can just listen to them and they sound like Pookie and Ray Ray, right? And there's no even shot to the Pookies and Ray Rays of the world, but I'm just using this as an example. A lot of these guys have that It's like they were of the community, but they don't want to be in the community. They haven't severed themselves completely from the community, but they're still on. They still carry themselves like they're a community maggle. There you go. That's a better word. A community maggle. Shout out to Grinch in that. But nonetheless, if you are a maggle, if you're acting like a maggle in the community and you still are struggling with Sharkeisha in them, then you got to look yourself in the mirror, right? And honestly, look, if you are struggling with Sharkeisha, but you're doing fine with Selenia and Soo-young and Sakura and Sasha, if you're doing fine with those women, or even the non-American, the immigrant black chicks, if you're doing fine with them, you can go overseas. You're ready because you have the mentality of what it takes to be successful. But if you're one of these individuals who's struggling with every chick, or if you are just trying to bang your head against the wall with trying to get Sharkeisha to like you and Sharkeisha not to bite you because she's hungry and winter's coming and winter came. Look, I want to say this right now, which I should have said in one of my last videos. All you who are begging for Sharkeisha to come back and Sharkeisha to like you, okay, winter's going to come, right? But nonetheless, you don't want to deal with Sharkeisha when she's hungry. I'm just going to say it right there. And that's different than the American BW who has some sense about her. You all aren't trying to get with those kind of chicks. Granted, oh, they're trying to get with white guys. Well, why is it then? Why is it that most of them are trying to get with non-BMs? Nobody wants to answer that question. But nonetheless, if your SMV is whack here, chances are it's going to be whack overseas. If you are decent here, then you'll notice the increase, right? Okay. You'll definitely notice it. But these mediocre baby's kids, do some more self-observation. Oh, third reason. If you're a trick, do not call yourself a passport bro. Don't go overseas, please. And it's not because of the trick in itself. It's because of the mentality. A lot of American men have been convinced that what we bring to the table is our wallet. And that's all we have to offer. And that's a horrible mindset to really carry with you, honestly. If you're telling me that all I am worth is what's in my bank account, if my worth is equal to that, or my worth is equal to what I have in my wallet, then no. You don't need to bring that overseas, because what's that's going to do, first of all. Second, what that's going to do is inflate the egos of a lot of these chicks to the point where, one, you're going to make those environments similar to the States, and two, you're going to piss off a lot of dudes in the process. A lot of dudes who, if you really played it smart and got in with the dudes, no, I'm no homo, that then they would tell you what chicks are actually certified versus the chicks that they don't even bother with and for some reason find clamoring to you. Mr. I got my passport here. Okay, well, all right, cool. I'm pro passport, pro overseas. So that's the reason why I'm going so hard in the paint today. But nonetheless, haven't you guys really thought about the kind of chicks you get and for what reason? Just think about it. I'm not going to say reasons, but really, think about it to yourself. Don't tell anyone else. You don't have to tell anyone else. You don't have to tell me. If you want, go ahead in the comment section. Tell them. But nonetheless. Yeah. So, if you're a trick, stay tricking in the States, please. And, oh yeah, we aren't, let's just save the real game for later. But nonetheless, if you're a passport pookie, or just a simple baby kid, which I guess that's what all this comes down to, do not call yourself a passport bro. Do not, definitely don't call yourself SYSBM. And do not even think about traveling. Because we are already dealing with a horrible reputation of that baby kid image. And it's seeping throughout the world. It's definitely between that and the tricking. I mean, if you want a case example on how all these things can ruin the place, look at no other place than Sosua. And you think that can't happen in other places? You got all these other, it's all these passport pros who I see pushing the same 3 places. And we all know what those 3 places are, where those 3 places are, specifically those 3 cities. Or well, give or take for the 3 or 5 or 7. But nonetheless, these are the same individuals who push the same places. And these places are becoming Atlanta's overseas. Detroit, or maybe not Detroit, but definitely like Atlanta. Definitely like Miami. Definitely like some of these other places that the brothers here complain about. Particularly when it comes to the modern women, right? Modern women won't give me a chance, so I'm going to go overseas. But I won't change up here to the point where I'm just going to do the same baby kid stuff that drove these raw modern women to act like modern women. Yeah, okay, whatever. See, that's the thing. I'll let the one master teachers and assume the Thailands and all these other guys, I'll let them be the good cop. I'll be the bad cop of the passport community if I have to. Trust me. I'm up for it. I don't care what people think. Well, okay, we all care, let's be honest. I even made a video about how you care, I care, we all care. Anyway. But I have more of a thick skin. Thick skin than others. And quite frankly, I don't care about bringing as many people along with me. I know one NT has this 1 MP initiative, 1 million passport initiatives. I support it in principle, but not everyone needs to join us. Not every brother needs to leave this place. Not until he changes his mindset. And no, it has nothing to do with you speaking proper. You gotta speak like surf, dude. You gotta vote Republican, Libertarian. Okay, maybe Libertarian, but you gotta vote right, huh? You gotta be black, cool, conservative. Is that what you're saying? Well, how is being a baby kid work, huh? How's being a baby kid work in this country, huh? And as far as just going overseas, you think that's gonna really help? Anyway, look, if you're a passport pookie, aren't you supposed to be fine here? If you're a successful pookie, I'm saying, passport pookie, right? Let's look at it. Passport pookie. I thought pookies were winning in America, huh? I thought the pookies were winning in the States. I thought the pookies were the ones who didn't need to get a passport because, man, y'all, that game, man, I got all the game in the world. I got all wins. I got all the awards. I got all the medal championships. I got all the ass in the community. Sharkeisha doesn't bite me. Sharkeisha. Exactly. Passport pookie. That in of itself is an oxymoron because people who are successful being pookies out here in the States don't have to go overseas. It's the failed pookies who carry that passport pookie mentality to them overseas. Once again, which is what I'm saying, the failures in Atlanta are, well, the lames in Atlanta are the pookies, the pimps in Sosua. And the DR, the Brazils, Colombia's. Look, and there's a reason why. I have my own places to go to, right? I have my own places I enjoy. I don't want it filled with a bunch of passport pookies or just passport babies kids with the hey mama man, hey mama man, hey girl, hey good girl, man. Look, don't make me cook you guys individually one by one. I will do it. I'll do it. I haven't cooked in a long time. Which leads me to my next point. You go overseas, all the way overseas, just to go to the same community type places you would have gone to in the States, i.e. the hood and the nightclubs, mainly the favelas and the hip-hop spots. Now, for everyone who's a triple-digit IQ dude here, regardless of race, tell me Why does that not make sense? Tell me why that doesn't make sense. We all know why, but feel free to do so in the comment section. Why would, or even the babies, kids who are watching, why would you go all the way overseas? Especially if you have to fly. I mean, or fly over water, over oceans, just to be like, hey, what's up, guys? It's Baby Kid Travels here, man. We's in the favelas, we's in the hoods, and I got these big booty Brazilian hoes behind me. If we gonna turn up and today, we're gonna see how they draw down in the kitchen, mama in the background. And later on, because a man's gotta eat, baby's kids gotta eat, and you know what? These Sharkeishas, last time I asked Sharkeisha to cook for me, she bit me. I have the scars right here. I have a scar right here. It's scars right here. But so I had to get my passport and go overseas and find some big booty, whatchamacall, in the favelas. But had to look like Keisha, though. It sort of reminds me of Sharkeisha back home. Oh, this reminds me of back home, man. And even Big Mama reminds me of back home. So, you know what? I'm actually going to eat. I'm going to eat. And later on, we should go to the hip-hop spot. And we all go to a nightclub. Bunch of... We gonna turn up, though. We gonna turn up, listen to the same whack-ass music we left in the States, and it's dated even more than the whack-ass music. It's dated by 15 years at least. These foreigners, these Dominicans, every nightclub, every hip-hop spot has to still play Ja Rule like it's 2002. I'm like, stop it. Please. This is, and it's the truth. That is exactly the typical Baby Kid travel video in a nutshell. I just saved you all hours of content. Just watch that little dramatization that I just did. And there you go. And that's basically it. That's basically it. I'm sorry. You're telling me you're going to go all the way overseas. Do the same Baby Kid crap you could have done in the States. Oh, wait. A lot of you guys failed at doing that. A lot of you guys were chased out of your communities, or just were seen as, you're seen as that guy, as the lame, not even the educated lame, just the lame. And you struck out in the nightclub. You struck out in those hip hop nightclubs back in your communities to the point where you're like, I know you European guys will appreciate this. In which it's like these guys struck out so much they got relegated to not from the top flight to the second flight to the third flight, and then you got fourth flight. So what I'm basically making an example is that in soccer you have these leagues. So it's like the championship, like Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, all that stuff. That's like top flight. And then you got second flight, third flight, fourth flight, to the point where if you get knocked down so much, then you're basically becoming irrelevant soccer club. These guys are that irrelevant soccer club. These are the guys that got relegated so hard at the end of each nightclub. It's like, man, I gotta go overseas. I gotta go to the hip hop nightclub. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. I'm not going overseas just to go to the same whack ass nightclubs that I could have gotten in the States. Much less than the same whack-ass broads who... No. If I'm going overseas, I'm going to the traditional spots, or I'm going to spots that I like, or something. Or better yet, you guys are American, right? Aren't you... Wait a second. What's the reason why a lot of guys go to nightclubs to begin with? Huh? It isn't for tail, is it, huh? Oh, wait. So you're telling me that you're going overseas and you still have to go to nightclubs to get tail? You can't just swipe right? You can't just pipeline. You can't just, hell, you can't just even cold approach. You can't even do that. You're telling me that you can't even do that with all your Americanness and your whateverness. You guys messing up. You guys are messing me up, bro. You guys are messing me up. Look, doing the same stuff, doing the same. Look, all right. Which comes down to this, honestly. If you're a goof troop, if you're just a goof troop guy, if you're one of these goofy dudes that are like just didn't know what to do with yourself when it comes to women, don't go overseas. Don't call yourself passport bro. Damn sure don't call yourself SYSBM. Please, I beg of you, because now you got these guys. I mean, it's over in states. It's over, and I'm not going to say that at one side did it. It's both sides. You got the modern women, and then you got the goof troop guys. You got the simp guys. You got the white knight guys. You got the whatever guys. You got the dirty mackin', ghetto swaggin', sag your pants in. Even secretly we are those guys, trap guys. You got the crack guys. You got the whack guys. You got the hobosexuals. You got the kookies and the look. Everyone play the part in the dating game being ruined in the States. I just don't want that to happen overseas. That's all I ask. And in order for that to happen, not everybody can come along. Everybody else out there always bet on X.